Episode 6 of Spooktacular. It is almost midnight and I was about to lay it down, but I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and do this video on Blackenstein, okay? So, of course, y'all know in the 70s you had, it was off the cusp of civil rights movement, and blaxploitation films were pretty big in the 70s. So you had Blacula, Blackenstein, probably hundreds more that I probably will try to get to, okay? So Blackenstein, this is on Tubi, and of course it's exactly what it sounds like. It's the Black Frankenstein, all right? So this movie, again, just like the one I previously viewed, is real short. It's only like an hour and 17 minutes, right? So if you want something to pass the time by real fast, but you're not trying to spend 2 hours, 2.5 hours watching something, check this out, all right? So this came out in 73, and it's so crazy that this was 50 years ago. A lot of the talent in this film probably are not here with us anymore. But the main character, her name is Ivory Stone, her real name, and she's still living. I just saw a video of her on YouTube. So we all know the story of Frankenstein. Of course, you know, a lot of people confuse. Frankenstein was the scientist. The monster didn't have a name, but a lot of time, most people call the monster Frankenstein instead of the scientist that created him. So in this one, the girl, she just earned her PhD. She's shadowing this doctor, and he is Dr. Stein, right? And he's doing all these experiments on people. He's attaching limbs and making all these serums and all this stuff, making people younger and everything like that. So she's like, you know, my fiance, he just came back from Vietnam. He lost a limb and a leg or whatever. So she brings her fiance to him for Dr. Stein to operate on, right? So now, the original story, Frankenstein, of course, it goes a little different, but, you know, they made this a little modern for the time it came out. You know, they included the Vietnam War, which, if I'm not mistaken, ended in 73. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it did. And so basically, the Dr. Stein, he has this, I don't want to call him a sidekick, but he's like his right-hand man or whatever. He falls in love with the girl, confesses his love to her. She's like, look, I got a fiance, like, duh, me and you, we can't do this. So he switches the serums, and that's what causes her fiance to turn into Frankenstein's monster, right? So with this movie, one of the things I wish they did more of, not that I'm like into gory porn, but it's like he would attack somebody, and the next scene would be that person laying on the floor bleeding, and he's like holding like an organ or something. I know that sounds probably gory enough for most people, but I wanted to see more like action. But I'm assuming from how it looked, the budget may have been kind of small. I'm not sure. Like I said, this came out 50 years ago. Movies did look, you know, they didn't have like the CGI or whatever it's called, computer stuff, like we do now. So it could have been a big budget movie, but I'm just going off of, you know. But if it was a low budget movie, I will say this, they did a good job. For a low budget film, it was cool. But like, dude killed like 10, 15 people, and I just feel like the killing scenes could have been a little bit more. I want to see some more. You know what I'm saying? Like, most of the time you see dude walking around, he's doing the you know, with the arms stretched out, you know, the Frankenstein monster stance that we're used to seeing, right? And, you know, one thing I was hoping with this movie, I was hoping they would give him the right serum and he would become normal again, but he ends up getting killed by 3 dogs. That was his demise. And it's crazy because he was surrounded by police at one point. He was shot 5-10 times, but the dogs kill him. And I'm like, and then the movie go off. I was like, okay, all right. I mean, I was hoping she would get back with her fiance, and the guy that switched the serum because he was jealous. I mean, I'm glad he got dealt with, but just like the other movie, I think the first episode I did of Spooktacular, my Spooktacular series, it ended crazy too, where the dude, I think he fell off a building and died. It's like, I always hope that the monster, even though they killed all these people, it wasn't his fault. He went to Dr. Stein trying to get limbs attached and live a normal life and be with his girl, not turn into a monster. So I was hoping that, you know, we would have a happy ending, but they didn't see fit for that, which it was cool. You know, it wasn't bad. I just wanted a happier ending. So if you're familiar with Frankenstein, the actual book came out in 1818, and the woman, Mary Shelley, who wrote it, she was only 18 years old when she started it, and 20 when it was published. And if you read it, because when I was in high school, we had to read it, it's written so, like, I think back then the English language was way more sophisticated now. I think most of us talk in slang. Most of us don't talk in that extreme, well, not here in America, that really like good English. Like, for example, I notice when I'm hearing people from like other English speaking countries talk, they may say something like, "You mustn't do that," or "I mustn't." And I haven't heard someone in America say mustn't or must not since forever. So those are key differences in that. But you know, I love how something that was written 2 centuries ago can still, to this day, influence what we watch, what we read, the spooky season of Halloween. Like, just imagine. And I believe the story goes, as far as Mary Shelley, that it was like a competition between her and 2 friends. They were supposed to write a story or something, and she just came up with it, and amazing. So you never know, whatever gift you have, whether it's writing, whether it's a painting, you never know how long that's going to last. Like, the big influence, that how many generations it's going to touch. So that's the incredible thing about Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, Bram Stoker's Dracula. I mean, both of those are like staples in horror, and we have since made movies, books, TV shows, all kinds of stuff from that. So again, another Tubi movie. If you want to watch it, this is on Tubi. I'm about to lay it down, man. As you can tell, my voice is starting to clear a little bit more. So we're finally kicking this cold out. You're going to see me way more. I had to take a break, man, get myself together. I'm about to snooze. So, as always, shout out to my lovely 41 subscribers. I love you. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the views. Can you start commenting? I want to talk to you and see some of your opinions on some of the things that I review, all right? As always, peace and blessings.